In this preview, I'm going to do a flight I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm starting in Kathmandu and flying to Mount Everest and Cho Oyu, the 6th highest mountain. Mount Everest, of course, is the tallest mountain. But I wanted to start in Kathmandu. It's in a Bob Seger song, so gotta go, right? Anyway, we've got a number of temples I went and found. I don't think it's going to be anything like Hagia Sophia or, any of the Notre Dame or anything like that. But there's a number of little temples, Buddhist temples and stupas, probably very few of which I'll be able to pronounce, so I'll try not to butcher them. We'll take a little pass over Kathmandu before we head to Cho Oyu and ultimately to Mount Everest. There's points of interest in world map for all the individual base camps and the various peaks. Hillary Peak, I think, is one, and certainly the different base camps. But I didn't create push pins. We'll just go to Everest and we can hit the other points of interest as we go. Flying the Pilotus PC-6. I think it's the only small plane with a high enough ceiling for Everest regardless, but I'm flying the one with the skis just in case I decide to do something stupid. So let's go ahead and fly it. Remember, these flights are free to fly for everyone, so just go to simflightplan.com/downloads, download and load it in world map, and you can fly it yourself. Okay, so the PC-6 pulls really hard to the left when the tail wheel comes up. Good to know. I think our first temple was at the end of our airport. I think these are going to be pretty small targets, so we'll see if there's anything we can spot. This one seems to be right along the river there. Somewhere in there. I think our temple is that gold roof right in the center of the square there, because if you look at the satellite imagery, I think it's actually a pointy roof, but it's distinctively gold, so I suspect that's it. Like I said, these are going to be small. So this should be Durbar Square, which is kind of an area of town, I guess. But there were a bunch of little temples and palaces, but I can't really see that they're pictured any differently than the surrounding buildings. It looks like there's some photogrammetry on the ground that Flight Simulator doesn't quite know what to do with, that looks like a church or a large building. Our next one is right on top of that hill over there, so that's easy to spot. So there's our temple rendered as a circle. It at least recognized that much of it. I think it probably has a stupa on it. Let's see, we can check the satellite. Yeah, Flight Simulator doesn't know what to do with the stupas, so they're just showing up as round buildings. Let's see if it figured out the Buddha stupa. There's our Buddha stupa, just rendered. Oh, that's pretty cool though. But it's like a little hut in the middle of the photogrammetry, just the tip of the stupa. Alright, so at least that's the Buddha stupa. We got that one. And then there's a couple more temples in the hills on the way out, I believe. Be right on top of that. Oh yeah, there's something on top of the hill. There's a... I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but that's our temple that starts with a C. I'm gonna guess that's our temple there. It looks vaguely circular, but there's a building on top of it. Don't think Flight Simulator knows exactly what to do about stupas. Oof. I need to remember I'm in the Himalayas. Well, there's all sorts of resorts and homestays down there in the valley. Guess you can come vacation in the Himalayas without having to climb to 20,000 feet. So when you leave Kathmandu, you cross over into China, and now we're crossing back into Nepal across this ridgeline, and it's every bit of 20,000 feet. So you pretty much need to climb close to 1,000 feet per minute out of Kathmandu the entire time. So that's Cho Oyu in 3 miles right there, and you can see Everest off our nose. So I'm nearly at 27,000. Oh, and there's Tenzing Peak. Is it Norgay Tenzing, the famous Sherpa? Hope that's right. You know, you'd think that satellite imagery would be crystal clear right here. I mean, doesn't get any closer to the satellite than this. So if you've ever wondered what's on top of Cho Oyu, the answer is snow. And now just across the glacier field here to Everest. Well, so down on that glacier is Everest Base Camp. So I guess the mountain climbers work their way up from the base camp down here, up this glacier, and up to, I guess this is, yeah, this is Everest. So they must come up this way. And then I guess that's Hillary Peak right down here. But yeah, I think everybody climbs up this ridge we're flying over, the usual route, I guess, if there is such a thing. Oh wow, over here is where the Everest Camp 4 down in here. That's insane. But that's the top of Mount Everest, the highest point on planet Earth. And there's China. So there's the Chinese side. I think there's a whole different set of approaches from this side. I guess up this ridge would be the Chinese approach. And the summit is right there. And then down this ridge is the traditional Nepalese side. Now it's probably not the time to stall. And there's a jetliner who's active pausing, it looks like, doing the same thing we're doing, looking at the top of Everest. Now it looks like there's probably the little piles of flags and stuff. Again, you'd think the top of Mount Everest would be crystal clear in the satellite imagery. The satellite doesn't have far to look. Oh wow, Tenzing-Hillary Airport's only 19 miles, I guess, on the other side of this ridge. I'm not sure how far we have to descend, but I'm guessing it's a lot. I think the way to go is going to be down this valley. So our airport is just on the other side of this ridge, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to want to go down the valley and come back at it. I mean, we're not playing games. Check the approach. I mean, I think it's just basically perched on this little shelf up here. We're coming in 06. Oh, they technically have another runway. I don't know how you get on it. We didn't check the elevation. 2,800, 2,900 meters. Should be in this valley right up here. Yeah, there it is, perched on the, well, we can see where it is. I still don't see the runway. Now I see the runway, which someone is using. Oh, you ain't gonna make that. Is that a jet in the middle of the runway? Yeah, it is. You gonna let me land? Yikes. The sim didn't kill us, but we stalled. That's the end of the Nepal, Kathmandu, Mount Everest flight. A couple cool things to see in Kathmandu, and Mount Everest is what it is. Pretty cool, lots of cool glaciers and so forth. I guess we should get out of the middle of the runway. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe.